Good afternoon. I'm Dennis Willich with Nationwide Southwest. I'm here with Eric Delaughter, and he's with the Outdoor Home Store in Slidell, Louisiana. Eric, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here today.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite.
Tell us about the Outdoor Home Store.
So basically, we've been in business about 6 years now. We got started just before the pandemic had started, so it's been a fun 6 years, but glad we're still here and survived. Basically, we're a patio business. We sell outdoor living supplies, barbecue pits, patio furniture. So we're in the right business, I guess you could say, with things going on in the economy and the world. It's a good business to be in.
Right. So COVID came along, kind of turned the world upside down, changed patterns that people did, added, I guess, a lot of exposure, because when lockdown came, people still wanted to get together. They still wanted to do things and all of that. Couldn't really travel around, do anything. So what happened was the backyard became what we call the gathering spot.
Absolutely, 100%.
And the gathering spot became the place where neighborhoods kind of went, one weekend they're in this one week in that one. And that gathering spot became extremely important. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So from that, I ask you this question. What are you doing in marketing in your location? What kind of marketing do you do to drive that storyline to the consumer and say, hey, we are all about you. You need to come see us. We're the place to be.
Okay. Good question. We've done a couple different types of marketing over the past 6 years. Like I said, I'm new to the retail business. I haven't done it very long, so this was a new start for me. But we actually had started. We've done some of the catalogs that go out, the mailers that go to people's homes. I didn't see a great return on those. Then we started doing some Facebook and Instagram ads, I guess you would say, and some Google ads to get people to our website to kind of build a brand, and then also generate some income from our e-commerce platform. So we actually had some web sales from that. But just recently, I'd say within the last 12 to 18 months, we've relied a little more heavily on social media. We actually had hired an in-house marketing team at one point and had them come out. We were doing about 4 to 6 videos a month for content, whether it be a cooking video or a demonstration or just showing some video footage about the products that we sell. But we did find that we really increased our traffic to our website and the actual traffic that's come through our doors of our store just by doing that social media presence.
Okay. You have a website.
Yes, sir.
And are you fully loaded on the website and priced? Or how do you go about that?
For the most part, our website's still in the works. Okay. We're actually going, I would call it a website 2.0. So our first website was launched right after we opened, and it was just a basic e-commerce store. Now we're really getting into more high-res photos, videos, and more brands that we're representing. So we're kind of rebranding and trying to roll out a new platform that's a little more user-friendly, easier, quicker checkout.
How much business you doing online?
For us, online's a huge percentage of our business. I mean, I would say it's probably at least 60 to 70% of our revenue.
And they actually transact right online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 60, 70%.
Absolutely. Now, we get a lot of people that may call in, see our website, want to make sure that we're a legitimate company and want to talk to somebody, ask some questions. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of our business comes from online sales. So
that's an area you really need to hone in on.
Absolutely.
That's the one you really need to.
That I call it our bread and butter. Yeah. That's where it's at.
In other words, right where this is, you need to be right there all the time.
Absolutely. I'm here at the show and I'm still checking my email and filling orders.
Well, that's good. Talk to me about financing as far as when they go online, you offer financing?
We do. So right now, that's part of the website transition. We're actually working with HighCore. It's one of the nationwide partners. But they're working on our website, and we'll be able to integrate some different finance options on the website so people can actually get pre-approved and check out directly with their financing link. The only financing we're actually using actively is going to be through Synchrony through our brick and mortar.
Okay.
So we are in the works to be able to offer it to our online customers, but right now it's just only offered to our walk-in customers.
Okay. Are you using like any of the zero interest payout for so many months?
Absolutely. So that Synchrony offers a couple different options at certain times of the year. It seems like the 12-month has been very beneficial for us. I mean, we do tend to offer larger than that, but obviously with financing, there's a cost associated with it. So we have to look at our margins and see what we can afford and then offer it to our customers. But it seems like 6-month and 12-month has been a very affordable rate, almost as much as what a normal credit card fee would be, that we would just give to our customer and eat that expense.
I got you. When I look at your website or I come to your store, what am I going to see? What is the like the planogram of what you have there and what you got in stock, what your displays are like? Tell me about those.
So the website, like I said, right now, the one that we're currently working on, still work in progress. We're transitioning to that 2.0 model. It's going to be a lot more user friendly. It's got a graphic user interface to where when you hover across the menu, it would bring down a particular department. So barbecue grills, for instance, is a big portion of our business. So we've got it categorized as, I believe it's just barbecue grills or grills and outdoor cooking. And then when you come down to the next layer, it's got 5 different images of the most popular grills, whether it be a gas grill, a gas griddle, a pellet grill, a charcoal grill, and maybe there's one other one that I'm missing right now. But it would basically bring all those grills up with a picture. You can click on it, and then it would take you to the next layer where you could filter by brand, by price, by size, by fuel type, and so on and so forth.
How many different SKUs do you offer?
Thousands. That's what makes it so challenging. I would say the other thing that's been making things challenging is every time we think we're ahead, you had tariffs just recently, earlier this year. So just when you think you've got everything put in the system, then you got to go back and change pricing, or they come out with a new model or change 1 or 2 things on these grills or doors or whatever it may be. And then you got to go back and create a new SKU or change pricing or change costs. So it's ever evolving. And we're a small business. There's 4 of us at our store. And we rely heavily on our web team, and we do a lot in-house. We're hands-on. So it's a challenge. And that would be the biggest problem with the online store, is just being able to keep up with it. Like, we're not even running ads right now just because there's so many imperfections, I would say, that you don't want to promote the business until you correct those things.
No, I get all that. Now, once you have this all up and running and smoothed out, then you're going to really, I assume, you're going to really ramp up your marketing and get out there in front.
Without a doubt.
Okay. When somebody buys a product online, then, of course, there comes delivery. All right. Talk to me how all of those things work.
Great question. So a lot of our orders that we get are small orders, under $100. I'm going to give you an example. Could be a bag of charcoal.
Okay.
Some barbecue accessories, some tongs, some seasonings, some spices, some rubs. A lot of that stuff, small boxes. We have our own shipping department. We'll box it up, ship it out, UPS, FedEx, same day. Then you have your larger shipments like patio furniture, grills, built-in items, things like that can't ship ground. They're too heavy and they're risks of damage. So we generally palletize those items, crate them, palletize them, shrink wrap them, whatever it may be. And then we create a bill of lading and have a freight shipment picked up and delivered directly to the homeowner or the customer. And then we also rely heavily on a drop shipping model. So we may not necessarily inventory everything that we sell. We have hundreds and hundreds of brands. You can't physically warehouse all those.
Right.
But it gives us access to these brands that maybe they're more expensive than we want to put on our floor, but maybe that's a popular model out west or on the East Coast. So what we do is we try to have those brands on our website where they're available and keep track of those inventory levels with our warehouses. And if one sells, then it's our job to reach out to that customer and make sure that they're getting everything they need, that they ordered the right model, that we verify fitment. And then we coordinate with those warehouses that we do business with and ship directly from them. So we never touch it, but we're facilitating the sale.
Now, when you pack, all right, let's say somebody buys a grill and you're going to ship it yourself, or maybe you're going to make a delivery. You have a local delivery service, or how do you do that?
So we handle deliveries in-house as well. We have our own truck and our own trailers. Okay. And generally it's a 2-man job. We just go out and deliver it. Same thing with a grill. If it's a cart grill, something that's just a standalone. A lot of our local customers, maybe they purchase a grill from us and don't want to haul it in a pickup truck and have to deal with unloading it. So we'll either offer a free delivery for so many miles or charge a delivery fee to get it and put it on their back porch for them.
Okay. And there's no issues with charging for delivery or anything like that?
We haven't had any issues in the past. And sometimes that could be an upsell. If they're kind of on the fence on buying the grill, sometimes we'll offer free delivery to close with the sale, or a free accessory like a cover or, like I said, some tongs, whatever it may be. But generally, we try to close the sale and make sure that the customer, when they leave, that they're happy with their results, that glad they came and shop with us.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
deal.
the most important thing for us is that they're happy when they leave.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. You want them back. You'll never get them back if they're not happy. And you still may have to market to them even if they are happy.
This is true.
In other words, I always say to them, I was in retail a bunch of years, and I always used to tell the team, okay, you made a sale, we delivered the product, it's all consummated. Now, will they choose us when it comes time again? Because what happens, they now go back into becoming a consumer.
That's right.
And now we got to get them back again as a customer.
So let me tell you another thing that's worked great for us. Now we're on the topic. I don't think Podium's here today, but we've actually gotten signed up with Podium for a automatic review. Generally, when somebody makes a purchase, especially a large purchase, they're already on a high at that point, or emotional high, let's say. And when they leave the showroom, about a minute and a half to 2 minutes after we close the sale, they get a text saying, "How was your service today at Outdoor Home Store?" And you would not believe the response we've gotten and the 5-star reviews. And I mean, they would actually say, Justin, one of my salespeople, "Oh, Justin was phenomenal. Eric, myself, very knowledgeable about the products." So we really like that feedback from our customers. And that has also helped us grow in the Google rankings tremendously. Yes. I mean, we went from a store that had competition all around our area to being the #1 location. So every time somebody comes in, we do actually get a lot of traffic from the Gulf Coast, from Mississippi. And that's the first thing I ask. Well, how'd you hear about us? Did you hear our social? Did you see us on Facebook or Instagram? And 90% of the time they'll say, "Oh, we Googled outdoor kitchen or barbecue grill or patio furniture, and you're #1 place that popped up." And you answered the phone. We called you and you answered the phone and told us your hours. So, like I said, customer service, I come from a service business history, and I would not have been able to have that business and rely on that business to support my family if customer service wasn't the #1 goal. So I built this business on customer service first. Even if the customer's wrong, they're right. It's not worth it. One bad review can demolish a business nowadays with social media and everything. So we really take pride in what we do and love and have a passion for what we do and what we sell.
Well, and the other thing is, should you ever get a review that's not as good as you want, if you jump in there quick, like you're asking them, jump on that quick, go right back, find out what you need to do to repair, and get on down the road. That helps a lot.
Yeah, knowing how the customer feels. I mean, they may leave and you think that everything was fine, but something may have upset them.
Right.
You never know. But getting that feedback and then being able to respond and make it right. That's always been my motto. We may not get every sale, we may not do everything right, but we're trying.
Yeah.
And at least give us the opportunity if we did do something wrong to make it right.
That's exactly right. In other words, hey, I like to tell our team, we'll never be 100% perfect, but we should always strive to be 100% perfect.
Absolutely.
And that way you're going to always land on the right side of the way you need to do business.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's talk a little more as we're heading through here. So you got a lot of different things in that store that you're selling. When we talk about grills, whether it be pellet grills or maybe charcoal grills or gas grills, whatever it is, what kind of margins are you able to make there?
So most grills, some of your higher end brands have very good margins and also pay some type of a spiff. So you can actually reward a commission salesperson. Most grill manufacturers, I say most of your grills, I would say under $2,000, anywhere between 30 and 40 points.
30 and 40. Okay. Now, if you don't mind, can you share some of the brands that you carry on the floor?
On our floor, there's a lot. We carry Blaze outdoor products, so Blaze grills, Bull, Renaissance, Fire Magic, AOG, Napoleon, Coyote, Traeger, Pit Boss, Rectech, Green Mountain. I can go on.
Yeah, you got a lot of them in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got a lot of them in there. And those are all brands that people are recognized because they're marketed pretty good, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that helps a lot as well. Do you get a lot of, do you do a lot of credit card?
Yes, I would say probably 90% of the transactions that we do in store are my credit card.
Are you, I'm curious because talking to a lot of members today, and as you know, the credit card thing has gotten where the percentages and all the fees have gotten
out of control,
crazy. And a lot of our members now are right up front. They're just letting people know, hey, there's a 2% charge.
So here's what we've been talking about this for the last few months. I mean, we did a pretty decent volume last year, and you get that bill at the end of the year and you look, wow, you get sticker shock. We spent how much in credit card fees? Wow, I'd have loved to give it a bonus to my loyal employees. So we've been talking about it and we haven't ironed anything out yet, but we may offer a cash discount and include the fee basically into the cost of the goods.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to get hit with a fee after the fact, but if it's built into the price and then you offer a cash or check discount, they're more likely to pull out that checkbook and get a discount than they are to say, no, I'm not going to pay because I don't want to pay the credit card fee. So I don't know. We may do it two different ways, but
well,
that's what we're looking at right now.
And by the way, what you're telling me right now, we've heard both. I talked to a member yesterday. We were sat down chatting just like us. And he said, last year, we were paying $12,000 a month to fees a month. He said, so you're looking at $144,000. And he put that 2% in here about 60, 90 days back. He said, I have not had one single customer yet say no.
Okay. That's good to hear.
So at least I'm giving you some feedback.
Sure. No, absolutely.
Now we're going to get a lot more feedback because we're going to do a survey with our membership in the Southwest. We're going to go out and ask people, what are you doing? How's it working? Are you getting pushback? Are people upset? Because the last thing you said, well, you don't want anybody upset.
Right.
But anyway, I'm just sharing with you some things I've heard. And then we've also heard what you said. They put the 2% in at the front end. They just raise it up 2 points, then give them an option to either use a check, credit, or debit card or whatever. So you're not going to get it. So that's her. And then I'm assuming now, correct me if I'm wrong. What are you doing with extended financing?
Longer than 12 months?
Yeah.
We're not currently offering anything.
Okay, just 12.
I mean, we have the option for 24, I believe. It might even go up to 36. Haven't really had any customers come in that had wanted to finance longer than 12.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, when you look at the cost to do it as a 12 versus 24, I'm going to throw a generic number. Maybe it's 3% cost to us on a 12-month. It's like 9 to 10.
It's
so
gigantic.
it's not feasible. So we don't even offer it.
Okay.
It's there if we want it, but we generally don't even offer it.
Right. Yeah, it's gigantic.
Right.
At that point, if you're going to do that, I mean, those kind of fees, you wouldn't be able to offer a zero interest. If somebody said, hey, I'll do 36 months, but you'd have to have something built in.
We've got some other options available to us. We do a lot of design build services as well, outdoor kitchens. So a lot of times the project could be $40,000, $50,000, $60,000.
Yep.
So we've got another company that we do work with that will finance, but it's not 0%. And 0%, people tend to say, well, I'll definitely use somebody else's money if it's going to cost me nothing. So I push that for at least the equipment more than anything and let them save their cash or their money for the installation purposes.
All right. We look at all these things that go on. What about furniture?
Oh, I'm surprised we didn't talk about this first. So we're in the outdoor business right now, and we are getting into the indoor business. Being part of Nationwide, we have access to a lot of different brands of furniture, so we haven't really been taking advantage of that over the last couple of years. But like I said, since we do so much volume online, we're kind of branching into that market. But we kill it with outdoor furniture. We don't have a lot of competition around us. I say that. I mean, there might be 2 or 3 stores within a 50-mile radius of us.
Okay.
But everybody has different products. So we're not really selling apples to apples. We have a lot of Amish brands that we sell, a lot of Amish furniture, and it really sells itself. It really does. People come in, they're looking to trade up from their traditional wood outdoor or their aluminum or wicker or whatever it may be, because they've had problems with it deteriorating or rusting or paint flaking. So they're looking for something that's going to last longer, for one. I get a lot of customers that come in that don't want any furniture outdoors with cushions on it. So that's another pro for the Amish furniture. It's very comfortable, so it doesn't need any cushions. I mean, the chairs we're sitting on right now are pretty comfortable because they got cushions on them, but there's a lot of different pros and cons for different brands of furniture. But that brand or those brands that we carry specifically tend to sell themselves. I tell people, just sit in it. And they'll come in the showroom, they'll sit in it, and they'll be like, I got to have this. I didn't even have to tell them how much it cost. I let them use their feet, basically.
All right. So I'm so excited about the backyard, and we're getting in. We have a division called AOLG, America's Outdoor Living Group. And we developed that for a reason, because we want to get deep, deep, deep. And we've had several of our, what I call high-end outdoor stores that have come and said, hey, Dennis, you guys do a tremendous job. You got a lot of this, but we need to see what you could do to help us obtain some of these other brands. And I had a couple of ladies come in from Boerne, Texas, and they came at a prime time, and they shared with me some invoicing that they had sold. And man, it was like a shock.
Oh, yes.
It's
expensive.
I mean, the dollars, $57,000 of outdoor furniture, and we're going to put that outdoors in the weather.
It shocks me too. When we started out, like I said, a couple years ago, and I had a vendor that had an Amish brand of furniture, and they were kind of pushing it on us, and I was still new to the retail game, and I started looking at the pricing on it. I said, this isn't going to sell. There's no way. I mean, my dad, very wealthy man, makes a lot of money. And he's like, I wouldn't put it in my back porch. You know, that's very expensive. So he made me a deal. The vendor said, tell you what, put it on your floor. If you don't sell it, I'll buy it back. Yeah. So at that point, I got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Well, this was also during the pandemic. So we put it on the floor. You couldn't get enough of it. I mean, people were wanting to buy the one off the floor. I couldn't sell it because, you know, if you don't have something to show, how are you going to sell furniture? Boy, I wish I could go back to that 5 or 6 years ago and have stockpiles of it sitting here. But, like I said, just a phenomenal product, very well built, super comfortable, 20-year warranty. I mean, it's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And yet, man, there is a lot of upscale.
Oh, yes.
Gosh almighty.
You got sofa sets that are $10,000.
I know. I mean, it's just incredible to me to see all that stuff going on.
But you know what the most important thing is? You're going to buy it once.
That's it.
You'll get tired of the cushion color or the color of the product that you purchased before you get rid of it.
Yeah, because it'll stay there.
It'll be there forever. You'll give that to your kids and your grandkids.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you another question. We talked a lot about this. Okay. You are in Slidell, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
How many locations you got?
One location.
One only. Are you planning any expansion?
So that's another thing we've talked about. Like I said, we do get a lot of business from the Gulf Coast.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're obviously coming from the Gulf Coast to Slidell, but I'm also at the same time have to plan ahead and make sure that some competition doesn't open up between me and them. So we have talked about moving across the state line and opening up a second location in Mississippi, but it's all about cash flow. And right now we're still working our way out of the debt that we got into from COVID. We're still building showroom out, still putting product on the floor. So we'll get there at some point. It's definitely being discussed about now. Even the possibility of getting a larger showroom, even if it's where we're at, getting a larger showroom so we can physically put more product on the floor. We're kind of out of space. So
how many square feet you got?
So the building itself, I believe, is right at 7,000 square feet, but you've got only about 800 square feet of the very front of the building is air conditioned showroom. Then it goes into a warehouse that's about 40 by another 100. That's open warehouse. Plus we have an outdoor showroom. But from that point back, the remaining part of the warehouse is all offices and pallet storage, basically, for products coming in, products going out. So we're not utilizing the entire building for showroom purposes. But
yeah,
at some point we may have to warehouse somewhere else and turn that into all showroom.
Yeah, now that's what I was going to ask. A lot of times people will then say, well, we got to get a off-site warehouse and build this thing out because this is where we need to show things. All right, lastly, I'm going to ask you what about Nationwide Southwest? You've been in the group how many years now?
So we got in for a little while during the pandemic. Like I said, I didn't even know what it was. I'll be honest with you. Cute little girl came in the office and said that they could help our business grow. So we signed up. Never attended any of the trade shows. I didn't really know about them. Maybe it was just, communication issues on both parties. But, when we finally joined back specifically for financing reasons.
Yeah.
When we joined back, I did see a huge uptick in the business, the revenue, the access to products, the financing. So it's definitely an asset to our business, without a doubt.
That's good. And last question. What do you think about prime time?
Love prime time. Every show's different. I like moving around a little bit, and we've gone to San Antonio, Las Vegas. That's probably my favorite so far. Hard to beat Las Vegas. But we did San Antonio, Nashville, and Vegas, and we're in Fort Lauderdale today. I'm looking forward to the next few shows, and especially Denver. I think that's going to really be a great show.
You think that'll be a great place? See, we attempted to go there once, and then we had the big storm,
Right.
and we never got in with COVID and everything. So we were kind of lucky that it didn't happen, because we probably would have got there and never got out.
Right.
During that blizzard they had. Well, thank you very much. Listen to
Absolutely.
me. Appreciate you, Eric,
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Thanks for being a part of the group and sharing with us. This was very, very good, and wish you all the very best going forward. Okay?
Thank you for having us, Dennis.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty.